a second, you're 15 years old and you're smoking in high school?
I would have let the cops take you.
Yeah, right.
I would have.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Rode a lot of places I should not have been going. What I call the Vulcan nerve pinch.
The Vulcan. Time to make peace with God.
Well, it was...
All right, so I figured we'd start a series on the YouTube channel called Driving with Dad. And who better to fill the role of my dad than my father, David. Dad, say hello to YouTube.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
What was that? Was that hello?
The voice gave way.
Yeah, he's so nervous. So I think one of the things I wanted to do on Driving with Dad is, I think first and foremost,
we want to stay alive.
Yes, that is good. That's always a good goal at the end of every day. I've succeeded for the past 30 plus years.
No big accidents.
Yeah, or if we did get in an accident, it'd be kind of fun to watch.
Wild. It'd
be good, some content. Why not? Let's just get in a fender bender right now.
Ram that van.
He doesn't look like he's got to go anywhere.
You got it.
He's out of state.
Yeah.
So I think I wanted to start off with just introducing yourself and just like, where did it all begin? If you had to say who I am, how would you answer that question to somebody?
It started 75 years ago.
Where'd you grow up? Like, where did
it all begin? Let me think. Well, I don't know, as a child, I was always kind of a loner and off to myself. I never felt like I needed anybody. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, it's just like, and I still am kind of that way. I mean, you know how when family gatherings get together, I'm like, all right, leave me alone. But,
well, even Melina's like that for me. It's like we've been married, for a while now, and it's like, she likes to be with people, and there's times when, I'm happy to work alone.
Oh, yeah. You might have gotten that from me, whatever.
Yeah, probably. So you're kind of a loner kid growing up?
When I was a kid, I used to love to sit on the back steps of my parents' house. And literally, it's going to sound like I'm half nuts, but...
Maybe it is. Maybe it is half nuts.
That's right. I would love to just, on a sunny summer Sunday, or any day of the week, because whatever, in the summer you're off anyhow, I would...
It's a copper coming up here.
Oh, you want to be good?
All right, so you'd sit on the back porch.
All right, I would sit on the back steps, and I would just literally let my eyes go out of focus and kind of enjoy the flies landing and taking off like little specks of black, the patterns that they changed. I'm still into patterns. Patterns are really cool. I mean, I'm a visual person. That was part of it. I would go down.
It is kind of nuts, just so you know. It is.
My parents.
I never knew this.
Let me play down at the playground, and there was a large merry-go-round that one kid would have to run around to make it go. I mean, it was a decent-sized merry-go-round. You could literally sit on benches as it went around. That was fun. There were teeter-totters, like one of those giant metal slides that would like fry the backside of your legs when you were wearing shorts.
What smells like?
Yeah, it smells like burnt. What?
Leathery bacon.
It smells like pig rind. What do they call it?
Pork rinds.
Pork rinds.
Yeah. Somebody's making pork cracklings.
Yeah.
No, it's just my thighs.
It's my thighs on fire.
Yeah, that's right.
but those things, and there were swing sets too that kids actually tried. There were some bad dudes in that neighborhood. I mean, really.
And my dad was one of them.
No, I was not. I mean, I checked out those guys before I even went outside. But I remember they were trying to push a guy so hard that he would go around the swing set. And I don't think that's possible. But I recall seeing a couple guys both together pushing with all their might on the swing set. And I think my brother-in-law validates that they actually got the guy to go around, but I mean, not without being injured, of course. But I used to play down there, and the school had a porch on the front of it. So I used to climb up on the top of the roof there. Then there was a small wall, and I used to climb over that small wall, and then go around the corner. There was an air duct, and I could get on top of that air duct, and then I could jump onto the larger roof at the very top of the building, and I would to be honest with you, it was
Wait, so you would actually crawl on the top of the building?
I was on the roof.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Melina, so the other day, Melina, we went past the school, and she was asking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could get up there. And
How old were you?
10, 11, I don't know. But I could get up there, and I to be honest with you, I even showed other kids in the neighborhood, like, come on, man, this could be our fort up on top of the roof of the school. Nobody would even know we're there. We're like in charge up there. I mean, this could even be great in like snowball fights. In the winter, we could like get snow off of the roof and throw it at people. I mean, it was just like a fort up there. And
See, at 9 years old,
maybe 10.
I was, regardless, 9 or 10 years old, I was nothing but a good boy. I never did any of that stuff. I never got on the roof.
I didn't even consider it bad, although I knew enough that when cars would come, I'd duck down below the level of the bricking on the above the roof there, because I really didn't want to be seen up there. So I guess I knew I was doing something.
That's crazy, because like as a 9-year-old, like, yeah, I had my moments, but like I didn't do anything like that.
Yeah,
I
well,
wasn't involved in any of that.
yeah,
I probably was dialing 911.
Yeah.
And that was I was probably about 9.
I remember that.
The worst thing I probably did growing up was I was probably about 9 years old enough to know that I don't need to be dialing 911 and hanging up.
Oh, I wished I were there then. I was into that so bad. I would have let the cops take you.
Yeah, right.
I would have.
No, you wouldn't
Yes,
have.
I would have.
What, to bring me around the little Scared Straight program?
Yeah, if I were there, I would have found out what happened, and I would have said, take him out in the cruiser and talk to him out there, and then bring him back.
Well, you make it seem like you're gonna haul my,
ASS away. Yeah.
haul my hiney away. No. So the story goes, like, probably the worst thing that I ever did growing up, honestly, was I went and I was in my cousin Katie's room at my aunt and uncle's house.
Okay.
What I did is I went and I went into her room, and she had
her own phone.
This phone. I picked it up, dialed 911, because I thought it'd be interesting to see what would happen, and I hung it up. And after I heard, 911 was your emergency. So I'm standing there in the kitchen, and nobody ever went into front door. Nobody ever knocked on the front door. We always went through the garage. Like anybody who went to her house,
that's the way you entered.
always went through the garage. And so it was obvious that whoever's knocking at the door was
Not
somebody
regular.
who is not normally here. We hear the knock at the door.
You're lucky I was not there, man.
Well, and then I was standing in the kitchen. I heard that. I'm like, oh, this is bad. So it was at that moment I needed a change of undies.
Oh, yeah.
And then there is a sheriff's officer there, and they say we had a hang-up call, and Mom turns around and sees me in the kitchen, looking like
sheepish boy.
Yeah, like, and that was it. And then
you in the kitchen going, bah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm caught. I'm dead.
You came clean, though. That was smart.
Yeah, and then what happened? Well, it's probably my face that gave it up. But then we
guaranteed.
picked you up. I think you were at Grandma and Grandpa's. We picked you up, and what happened later? What we did?
I was visiting with my parents. When I came home, with you, everything was. No one told me anything about it. And then I remember we were driving home back to Columbus, and I was like, man, Vincey's awfully quiet. He's just so quiet tonight. That just doesn't seem like him. And then I found out later that you had done that, and I was like, oh man, you are lucky, because I would have said take him out to the cruiser and clean him up.
Clean him up, yeah.
Maybe.
Break out the taser,
Get after it.
So that's probably the worst thing that I've ever done as a kid. Like, worst prank, hijink. I could probably think of something else.
Oh my.
Well, I wrecked Margaret's car that one time.
Yeah, that's right. It was yours at the time, right?
Yeah, I just recently bought it for her. So as a kid growing up, you were just kind of a loner doing your own thing kind of thing?
Yeah, I had a bike, and I would ride around. I literally rode a lot of places I should not have been going. See, my mom just never, she should have held the reins in a little more on me. But I rode a bike. I knew streets in Canton that I should not know, because I was riding around.
So Pops grew up in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah. And
so you'd ride around?
Yeah, I rode around. I know a lot of streets that I really were out of my realm just because I rode there, you know. But another cool thing that was the guy, a friend of mine across the street, John Warner, had a go-kart. And at one point they tore up the main streets all around our house. They were just piles of dirt, and they were putting in new sewer pipes and all that. And so for like a month, our neighborhood and like the whole block around was all torn up, and it was all dirt piles on the sides of the road. And he had that go-kart, and we would drive that. Someone would drive it, and someone would ride standing on the back of it and like baja on these mounds of dirt. And we were like racetracking it around the block because the block was blocked off to traffic. And so we were, you know, just had a total racetrack made for us in front of our houses. It was excellent, you know. So that was a wild time.
So I was homeschooled growing up, and Dad was in Catholic school.
Right.
And I think what we need to do is hear some of your best Catholic school stories.
Well, in grade school, I wasn't so bad, although I was out in the hall every day in 6th grade, because I remember Sister Jane would come up the stairs, and she always came like late to her own class, which I think was 7th grade, and she would speak to me when she would be coming up the steps, trying to chide me for being out in the hallway again, because Mrs. Moore had thrown me out of class again. And she would be coming up the steps, and I remember she was an overweight lady, and she would come up the steps and she said, "David, is that you again out in the hall?" And I mean, I got so sick of that. I almost answered her one time, "No, this is a hologram." You know, what do you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You would have been beaten down by a brother after that.
No, there were no brothers then. But then brothers were in high school.
Oh, the brothers. Oh, the nuns. So the nuns were in grade school, and the brothers were in high school.
Exactly, and the nuns controlled the children with what I call the Vulcan nerve pinch.
The Vulcan.
You know, and they would grab you like, you know.
Here, demonstrate.
Shoulder here.
It was like this.
Up here, the shoulders were area like this.
Oh, right there, you know.
And they'd throw the firm grip on you. It felt like you just got nailed by a hawk that landed on your shoulder. And
put their claws into you.
You got it, man. But the brothers were a whole different world. This is how a brother got a hold of you.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh, man, when that laid on you.
Oh, that's right. That's
when that hand was laid on you, if you were screwing up, doing something wrong.
It's time to make peace with God.
Well, it was like no one of my friends, my buddies in high school, ever was that gentle in their touch anytime. So when that hand laid on your shoulder, it was like...
It's the hand of justice. It's the hand of justice.
It was like, settle down now. And it did. It calmed you. It was amazing, you know. So let me think.
Come on, what about
I started my own insurrection in high school. We used to the lunchroom was too small to house all of the male students. Matter of fact, there was the boys' side of the school.
How old are you at this time?
Girls' side of the school. Well, I would have been like 13 in high school, 13, 14, 15. I got out of high school, I was 17. So, 14 or 15. What they did was half of the class, half of the lunch period would go outside and wait, and half would go inside and eat. And as they finished eating, then they would come outside, and we would begin to line up. And then we'd line up in like, I don't know, like 10 wide and however deep. And we would wait there, and then a brother would come out and begin to dismiss us into the cafeteria by he would be in charge of it. Well, one time, and this is where I learned about how you can control the masses. It's like I was at the front, and we had been waiting and waiting to eat.
And you're like 13, 14 years old.
15, yes.
15, all right.
Standing there, and I'm like, I'm sick of this. So I said,
You're waiting outside in the cold.
Yes, we're in the cold. And guys are coming out, and and they allowed us to smoke out there too. That's weird, isn't it nuts?
Wait a second, you're 15 years old and you're smoking in
15,
high school?
16, I don't know. You could.
This is like in the mid-60s?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I told other people with me, I said, let's try this. Let's all start walking towards the door just like we've been, prompted to come to the school and enter now. And so we walked up, and the crowd followed us like a bunch of dumb cows and followed us right up to the doors. Then we split out and went back to the back. And at the doors, it turned into a riot. We went up to the doors. I remember now I was at the back, and Brother Brian was at the doors because it wasn't time yet. And he was pushing the kids back, pushing the guys back from the doors. And they were fighting with him at the doors. And I started yelling from the back of the thing. This is horrible. From the back of it, "Give us Barabbas!" Because it was turning into a similar riot to what was going on with Pontius Pilate and all
and
that.
Christ's crucifixion,
Yeah.
that being you choose Barabbas or Christ to be released.
Yeah, and so I started yelling, "Give us Barabbas," and the crowd started yelling it from there in the back. It was nuts. I think Brother Brian was probably thinking, what is going on with my world?
Let's call Father Guido and break out the holy water.
Yeah, really
kids.
start sprinkling it. These guys have had
Get
it.
these kids.
Yeah.
How long did it last in your memory? How long do you think it lasted?
Oh, until they finally broke the guy down, and it was probably, he started letting people in then, because it was like
you
he
gotta
couldn't control it.
can't control the mob.
Right.
Oh my gosh. What about the one? Go ahead.
Another time it was kind of fun. I remember coming into class, and we was a study hall, and it had snowed, and there was snow on the windowsills, and we had a snowball fight in the study hall. And I mean, I remember the snowballs had hit the blackboards, and they made that white, how when you clean a blackboard with water, you have poof, and then it was dripping down things. A lot of stuff was just a mess in that one. And
it's crazy.
And then we used to torment Brother Christopher. He was talking about not getting involved with girls and all this, and somebody said, well, he asked a question, Brother Christopher, say you're at a movie and you're sitting there with your girlfriend, and she starts coming on to you. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Fair question.
And he says, offer her some popcorn. Okay, and he goes, oh, okay, yeah, but what happens if she still keeps coming on to you and you can't, And he goes, ask her how her mother is. And we all busted out laughing like, oh yeah, that's gonna work. And then he says, but then what if she just won't stop and she's really coming at you, He said, well, it takes two to tango. And at that point, Bob Leahy and what was his name? Leno. His name was Leno. Leahy and Leno, they were back behind me, stood up and grabbed each other and started doing a tango in the hall. I mean, down the aisle between the desks. And you should have seen Brother Christopher's face. It changed into this demonic looking face that I was a couple guys in front of those guys, and I saw him start heading down the aisle in this big black cassock he's wearing, that priestly looking stuff, and he come in, the whole aisle just spread out and opened up, and he went down there and he stood there. Those two guys jumped back into their seats by that time. Yeah. And I remember turning around looking, and he was back there, and he was just like filled with rage. And he grabbed their desks and lifted the desks up and flipped them on their sides. And at that moment, Joe Cuervo, on the other side of the room, over by the windows, this room had big windows that you could open, big tall windows, threw the window open and threw his leg out the window on the ledge, and was half in and half out of the room. And he yelled out to Brother Christopher, stop, or I'll jump.
because he had the other guys on his.
Well, yeah, he was gonna get them. So Joe Cuervo knew something was
about to pop off unless he did something.
Yeah, and when he did that, I remember Brother Christopher turned and looked at him, and his whole world went into you could hear the toilet flushing sound right now. You know what I mean? And Brother Christopher said, Joe, get back in the room. And everything switched from this emergency to that emergency, and really it was like everything stopped, whatever he was planning on doing to Leahy and Leno.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. But Joe finally came. Joe made him promise that he would not hurt those guys, and then he said yes, and then he came back in the room. And then
See, we're a lot alike. Like, you and I are a lot alike in a lot of ways, but like, I just don't think that I have it in me to do that kind of thing. Like,
I was
it's
just part of the tormentors, I didn't.
Well, I think that's the thing that's like, I know that like I have an anger problem. I've got an attitude problem.
I know.
And I also too can like connect with the fact that like you don't really feel like you have your own like place, and you're kind of your own guy. You're a little bit of a fun loner. Like, you like to be with people, but like you also ultimately kind of feel like you're in a crowd of one in a way.
Yeah, I do like to be to myself at times. Although I do enjoy people too. I enjoy, visiting with folks.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of like, in the early years, like, I was nothing like that.
Yeah, I can.
I never like, what's your recollection of me growing up? Like, I don't think I did anything ever close to that.
No, and that's what when I say you're my payback child, you aren't even near paying me back for the stuff that I got into. That was like, I should not have been doing that stuff.